Howdy. Kevin Craver here, self-published author of post-apocalyptic adventure books. I'm sorry I haven't posted any videos in the past few weeks, but I've been very busy at my full-time job, the one that actually pays my bills. And I've also been working on the fourth novel in my Unraveling series, which I'll be dishing a little more on in a future video, and I can't wait to tell you about it. And also, I took a break to do something I don't get to do nearly enough. Read a book. I much rather prefer reading these days to watching TV, which should be no surprise to you if you watch my video on how much modern TV and movies stink like shit these days. And given the choice between spending my precious free time reading a good book or watching the new Paramount Plus show Morbidly Obese College Lesbian in Space, I think I'll stick with reading.
I think I swallowed my combat.
Already?
Yeah.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Good God, these morons just set money on fire. I just don't get it. I don't. This video is the first in which I talk about other post-apocalyptic books I like. The book I dropped everything to read is The End of the World as We Know It, New Tales of Stephen King's The Stand. I'm going to give you my mostly spoiler-free review. The Stand is, plainly put, the greatest post-apocalyptic novel ever written. Now, I have to confess that I haven't read a lot of Stephen King's books simply because I'm not a horror novel fan, but I've easily read The Stand dozens of times from cover to cover. It's truly a desert island book for me. The End of the World as We Know It is an anthology of 34 short stories set in the universe of Stephen King's post-apocalyptic masterpiece, from the first spread of Captain Trips to the aftermath and the future after the events of the novel. Now, I'm just going to cut right to the chase and talk about the things I like. The main thing I liked about this collection is something that some of you might not like at all. These are new stories with new characters and new adventures. These are not untold stories from the characters you know and love from The Stand. Aside from Mother Abigail and Randall Flagg, who make numerous appearances for obvious reasons, the original characters, save for a handful of references and one tangential appearance, are absent. And I, for one, love that. I'm really sick and tired of movies and TV packing every scene with Gen X nostalgia bait and member berries to remember a long ago era that didn't suck.
Aka? Yeah. Remember Addicts? Remember? Hey, remember Ghostbusters? Oh, I remember Slimy?
Now, while I love this, it may be a downside for some of you. If you're looking for stories of Stu and Franny making their way back to Ogunquit, or Nick Andros and Tom Cullen's journey to Hemmingford Home, or Glenn Quagmire, Glenn Bateman painting by the river with Kojak,
let's have sex.
You're going to be disappointed. But that doesn't take away from the awesomeness of these stories. The variety is very impressive and creative, and the variety is another thing I really liked. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but some of my favorites included, but weren't limited to, the crew of the Space Shuttle Discovery marooned in orbit, a story set among a group of survivors in Pakistan, and another following a woman and her young son escaping from what's left of Miami to head for Mother Abigail. Now, the Pakistan story fascinated me because whenever I read a new post-apocalyptic author with great world building, I always find myself wondering about how the rest of the world fares. And if you're a Stand fan who wonders how people on the other side of the world dreamt about Mother Abigail or Randall Flagg, the Pakistan story answers that question for you. After all, if you're a Mongolian goat herder who was one of the lucky 0.6% who survived Captain Trips, you're not getting to Boulder or Las Vegas. Every reader is going to have their own favorites for different reasons. For example, the Miami story really resonated with me because it reminded me of my novel All We've Lost and the bond between survivors Melinda Hodgson and young Jimmy Callahan as they try to make their way to her home. As for the downsides of this novel, there are only a few. A handful of stories were way too far out in left field for me, even for a world that's a blend of modern times, fantasy, and dark Christianity. For example, there's a story involving a mermaid creature that grants long life and cures all diseases if you make it orgasm on a daily basis. And no, I'm not making that up.
All right, do it.
$30, $50 if you let them watch.
Come on, go for it.
Yeah, make it 50.
50.
30. Close the blinds over there. Am I doing it? Oh.
Seriously, that dude must have jimmied Hunter S. Thompson's suitcase full of drugs and taken everything in it. Another minor downside for me was that while many of the stories were great and many of them were good, there were a handful that weren't all that great. They kind of read like the author was just phoning in to get it off of his or her plate. But that's just my arrogant opinion. Your mileage may vary. And that's the great thing about story anthologies. You may think the ones I thought were lousy were great, and vice versa. Now, for some of you, a downside might be the price. The book retails at $16.99 for Kindle and $18.92 for hardcover. But you're getting a lot. 34 stories, 800 pages of text. Trust me, it's worth it. In short, if you're a fan of The Stand, The End of the World as We Know It, New Tales of Stephen King's The Stand is a must-read. And that does it for this video. Now, if you want to buy my riveting post-apocalyptic novels, I left the links in the description of this video, as well as a link to sign up for my e-newsletter. And if you'd be so kind, please be sure to like this video and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next chapter.